Amy's got an entire game rule based on her.
Hey, hello everyone.
Hello!
Hey!
That was
Sorry,
so
we caught
quick
Matt
to cut it out.
mid-conversation.
I
Sorry
just snuck
to
it in, but no.
No, you really did. You really did. The conversation
fantastic.
ended with that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah, yes. How is everyone? Oh, I mean, it's like hot as balls over here in the UK. How is it there for you?
Yep.
There, Usher. I've just realised everyone's in the wrong positions
I don't know
on
the
the
Celsius
board.
conversion, but
balls.
it's. I don't know the Celsius conversion because America is backwards. But if anyone wants to do the math, it's about 104 degrees here, which is, I think, hot as balls
I was like,
in
what's the
Celsius.
What's the Celsius conversion to hot as
It's
balls?
about 20 degrees above balls.
Yeah, no, I agree. If anyone wants, I'm not actually on Twitch tonight because my internet is garbage, and so I can't actually read Captain Quinn when he's telling me how to play the game in the best way.
No, he said almost 40 degrees
Better log
C.
mine in.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we're gonna get told how to play the game. I'm just not on Twitch tonight, so.
Well, Captain Quinn has told you that it's almost 40 degrees centigrade.
Is 40 degrees centigrade? That's hot as balls, right?
Yeah.
That's hot as balls.
We agree.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
yeah. So it's hot as balls.
Do you have the conversion for ovaries?
That's an internal temperature. It's going to be much
Yeah,
higher.
That's my favorite thing I've heard all year. Holy shit.
I can in fact give you the official term for the female version of hot as balls, which is fried eggs.
Oh my god! Amy came out of nowhere with a banger. That was
I believe it's measured in liters of under as well. I'm
how much
reliably
side boob is that?
Speaking of Amy and moving very swiftly on from that, Paul
I
has
really,
mentioned that
really
you've done
wondered
your
where you were
hair.
going with that for a second.
No, Paul's commented on your hair, Amy.
Ooh, it's lovely.
So you've done it specially for us.
Oh, no, this is not done hair.
not regulation.
This is.
Not done.
Oh, crap.
The down.
I forgot we were doing this earlier.
It's the down. We're just gonna throw it to the other side. Still wonderful.
Yeah, it
You
worked.
look fabulous.
Thank you. I'll take the
And
compliment.
Ben's predicted that the game's now not going to start. They were going on already. So, oh my goodness, yes, what a start to the evening it is. So sorry we're a little bit late. You can blame some of the members.
You
Yeah.
can blame Ed.
Not the
Not
one that you
naming
think it
names.
is.
No,
I wasn't going to name names.
Oh, I'm gonna name names. Matt was on a whole other podcast
He
for like an
was.
hour and a half. Ed was the last one to join.
I'm imagining that's children's duties.
He had to get his
How are
tire
you,
tracks
Ed?
right.
I'm very good. Yes. We're back to work in the real world this week for the first time since almost
You
forever.
scared the shit out of me with your work because you actually knew like the gate number that I was flying out of, as well as like the plane and all this other stuff. Like I'm almost positive you could have told me my seat number. I don't know what you do for the aviation people, but it's clearly like CIA.
I do have friends who could probably find me that, but owing to data protection, they can't tell me.
But to be fair, Usher, you're the one who gave him your social security number and mother's maiden name.
I didn't do that shit, but I did tell him where I was flying to and my flight number, and then he told me
that is a fair thing. If any of our viewers in chat do want to know about the secret special editions that we put on this, just send your social security number, your mother's maiden name, in a private message to us, and you will get access to all the fun things.
There's nothing fun here. None of it is fun. You don't want anything. No, it was. I took a flight, and I forgot what Ed did for a living, and he was like, "Yo, what's your flight number?" And so I gave him the flight number, but then like as I was boarding, he gave me the gate number and like the terminal that I was supposed to get on at fucking LaGuardia in New York City, and like gave me that, and then it texted it to me as I was boarding, and I was just like, oh my God, how does he know this?
If
And
you
then
think that
not
was
only
impressive,
that, not only
just
that,
imagine
but
what he put in your drink.
exactly, but he also sent a picture of the plane that I was using. He knew what plane I was flying in, and I was just like, oh, who are these people?
Nice
Star
and clear,
Trek
that one.
blows.
And Matt, yes, your hair's been commented on as well.
Yeah, it hasn't actually been a cut. It's just actually just been put back.
Has my hair been
Slicked.
commented on? Because I just want to like make sure that it looks good for everyone. It's like the horseshoe looks. Anyways,
I've got an inverted Usher where I shave the sides and leave the top long.
It's the negative hog.
All you find is you just get increasingly large amounts of face to wash in the morning. Right the way to the back of the neck.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stu. I'm sorry this has gone off the rails.
No worries. We're having fun. But yeah, Matt, as Usher says, you've just come straight from another podcast where you were talking about your, as Paul puts it, your big date this weekend.
Yeah. So
promote yourself. Tell everyone where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing.
I was on the Danger Club podcast, which is an actual play. Well, actually, it wasn't Danger Club podcast. It was Dangerous Wednesdays, which is an offshoot. But if you like watching Pathfinder or listen to Pathfinder be played, check them out. But yes, talking about Reluctant Hero, which is a board game that myself and Mike have produced, and in fact most of the people here have play tested at one point or another. And we're going to Birmingham to the NEC for the UK Games Expo. So we'll be travelling up tomorrow. It's press night tomorrow night, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you want to come and say hi, we're at stand 2237, I think, right on a junction. But also Foxy will be there, and he's 6'4" and is going to be in a lot of neon lights. So even if you can't find us, you'll be able to find him.
Look for the head and ears above the crowd.
I'll say this as the American in the group. I can't obviously come do all those expos and whatnot, but I have virtually play tested the game on Tabletop Simulator and seen all the artwork and all the shit that goes into it. I like board games. We're all playing an RPG right now, which is wonderful. And it's fun via Zoom and stuff like that. But playing in person is wonderful, and I very much like that. I've had a similar experience playing virtually online with you guys with Tabletop Simulator on Steam, just because of COVID and stuff like that. But I will say that board games are something that I love, and Reluctant Hero, not because I have anything to do with it, but purely because it's an awesome premise, and the idea of just people being lazy and not really wanting to do work themselves and trying to make other people do it is phenomenal. And the artwork that you guys have, the storyline behind it, and the gameplay itself. And Amy, I played with her. I know she'll agree. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yes.
I wonder where you were going with that.
No. I'm just saying.
I was in that game as well, and all I remember, I remember was you kept flipping the table, having pissy fits.
Pissy Bits is the name of my next album, and it's also how I'm just normally on a Wednesday. So here we go.
But actually, that takes us back to as we entered, and I'll just cut off, is that from those playtests, one of the auxiliary rules that we've got that you can play is called the Mad Mophead, and it's there as if you can steal from the bank, you'll go. But if you get caught, you're in trouble. So that's an actual an alternative rule that is within the game. It's in the rule book. The Mad Mophead.
Also, worth noting, flipping the table is only to piss off Matt. And they did so much work in that virtual tabletop to get everything perfect for the cell. And then he took my ability away to flip the table. He got rid of it. He was just like, you know what? I know he's going to flip the table. You're not allowed to flip the table anymore. And then it just kind of, the game was still fun. It wasn't as fun because it can't just make a mess of everything that Matt has ever tried to do in his entire life.
Speaking of fun games,
Star Trek Avengers.
Yeah. Whoa. Hang on. Whoa. Amy. Hello.
Yeah.
Right, now we can start.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Amy? You're doing. You've been having fun as a bear lately, haven't you?
I have. It's been great.
Do you want to tell everyone what you were doing as a bear?
Wait.
Oh
what?
no! Are we allowed to say? Do we not want to keep this?
Of course. Yeah. You
okay.
You can.
All
We're in a
right.
safe
Well,
space. It's fine.
we played Honey Heist yesterday.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
For whom?
With Tales from the 20 side. That was very exciting. Yeah.
Did you replay your original bear from our Crest of Strahd game, or did you replay another bear?
No, Tedious unfortunately had retired. So I was playing.
It's a great game by the wonderful Grant Howitt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that going to be
Amy's
released?
absolutely brilliant at it.
Is the Honey Heist show going to be released, or was that just for you guys? Because if it isn't, I will
It
pay
is.
you.
The first episode is coming out this Saturday night, so that's when the first
On
episode
where?
drops.
Where is it coming out? On the website or
On
everywhere else?
talesfromthe20side.com.
Yeah.
So there we
Let's
go.
get everybody's
Fantastic.
nonsense
Yay!
out there before
Promotion!
we get into we just gotta promote everything, and then bye guys, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I will say though, if you've got an aversion to puns, it might not be the thing.
It's unbearable, the idea that you I can barely stand it.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's like being back
okay.
there. It's deja vu all over again.
Flashbacks.
Okay. Well,
Anywho.
as it seems no one's going to ask me what's new in my life, let's get on with the game then.
How are you, Steve? Tell us. Come on.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm really excited. I mean, sadly, I'm excited for the weekend, but not for the same reasons, because I won't be able to go to the UK Game Expo, unfortunately, because Saturday is the 1 year anniversary of Aliens Explored. So myself and Neil are doing a very special live Twitch broadcast.
Ooh,
There we go.
nice.
We'll be doing a retrospective.
What time on Saturday?
4 p.m. on Saturday. That's 4 p.m. UK time. I think that's 10 a.m. Central time.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to do the conversions. I'm gonna need like an entire typewriter to figure that out. But yeah.
Have you not set all your clocks to UK time, Usher? Because
Yeah,
that would make so much more
really.
sense.
You're the only people I talk to. It's just everyone is in the UK. I feel so alone. It's like me and Steph, and that's it. I think Jaunty Goblin might be NYC, but he
No, isn't Jaunty
He's in Edinburgh.
I thought
no,
he
he
was in Edinburgh,
is. He is. And then also, Alucard is like pretending to be American. We all know he's goddamn British, but he lives in Alabama,
Taking
and I
his
get that.
citizenship.
I
Well,
still think
he
he's
did,
hiding
but I will
in
say this:
Medway.
DCP, their podcast, like claimed him as their first American viewer. He wasn't a citizen.
He wasn't
Not to like blow that out of the water. That being said, Steph is probably the first actual American citizen to listen to that podcast. Just saying. Chris is a liar.
Absolutely. And Chris is in the chat, by the way.
Is he?
He says he's got paperwork. Yeah.
Interesting.
And,
Interesting.
I'm
with
so
the-
sorry, Chris. I'll watch it later.
I've been trying to work out for ages why Facebook keeps telling me to be friends with a particular name, Chris M, and I was like, I don't understand it. Why? I've now realised it's Alucard. So, what is this guy? Why? Like every day is he?
Why isn't he
But
using
he's
his proper name on
beautiful.
Facebook?
He
Why
looks.
has he got Alucard?
I mean, you
Everyone
get
knows
that
it.
face. You get that face. He's beautiful.
He's definitely got the right sort of face to work in a
Radio.
I
London
gotta
coffee
bring
shop.
up Twitch because shit. Now I have to defend myself in my Crystal Shard game.
I was. To be
As we
fair,
lose
I was
Usher
impressed.
from Zoom, then
I
let's.
was
Well,
impressed
did
with the elven tattoo. That's a nice bit of work.
Oh no, Usher.
No,
I
I'm
haven't seen the
back.
Elven
Hello.
tattoo. And Chris does ask that we remind you, Usher, that the Curse of Strahd Graham left off last week with the party in Ravensloft.
Wait, they're in the castle?
That's where we are.
There we go.
Wait. So
right.
y'all can see me?
Yes.
Y'all can
Yeah.
hear me? Oh, okay. All right. So nothing with. Y'all are in the damn castle? That's
Yeah.
who decided
We're not
on
here
that?
to play this. We've been here
Anyway.
half an hour.
I know it's half an hour, but that's a serious misstep. And oh my god! And I have to learn how to play a wizard really quickly. Anyways, let's
But
play
for
some Star Trek
now-
Adventures.
You're playing an
Speaking of
executive
characters you're struggling to
officer.
play,
Let's find a
Oh
door.
my god! I love you guys so much. This is
Medical
Most
team.
laughter.
Bridge.
Cast unlock door, you'll be fine. Yeah. So, as ever, so we have. Let's just go around the table very, very
let's
quickly.
go around the
We
table.
have Ed, acting captain Eelin Wraal.
best
We
captain.
have Usher. The executive officer, or
The
is he
worst
still executive
officer.
officer? We will have to find out in game. But certainly chief of
Why did you
security.
quotation mark that?
But we will have to find out. Lee Varren. We have Commander Bosh. Bosh, our CMO Ferengi. And over in the science station, we have our resident Vulcan, Lieutenant Davok, by Amy. So let's do our catch-up as we always do via means of a sneaky listen into someone's personal log.
Okay. Excuse me. Executive Officer's Log, recorded under security lockout, Varren, Alpha 4, stardate 57141.4. Fuck! This is more convoluted than a Shakespearean comedy. Some species of neuroparasites are threatening to take over the Romulan and Klingon empires. Apparently, tried with the Federation some years ago. Why the hell they didn't wipe the species out there, and then, and why the hell they didn't wipe the species out entirely makes little sense to me. There are things certainly, ellipsis, different here, but what often looks like weakness from these people can also be a source of strength. At least it seems so. Lots to think about, although right now it's not the right time. The Ferengi Bosh has been returned to us from wherever the fuck he was taken. This happened a short while after I'm reading this for the first time out loud, so fuck you guys. This happened a short while after I called for my own beam out during a firefight with some parasites and their hosts. I expected getting some deep shit for that, but Wraal was fortunately more oblivious than I realized. There were some uninfected aliens left behind on the surface, but actually, you know what? Who cares? A Romulan warbird decloaked in front of us. The Centurion in command wanted to work with us. Even the Romulans in this universe are weak. They sent us to coordinates of a planet where parasites are working to repair an Iconian gateway. This will represent a threat throughout the galaxy, and maybe even my home as well. Then a warbird unexpectedly blew up. Good riddance. Wraal and Bosh did actually surprise me in wanting the mining outpost destroyed, hostages and all. I would have been so happy to oblige, but that Nyrak? I don't even know what the word is. Nyrak. That Nyrak, Davok, got to fire the quantum torpedoes. It was such a beautiful explosion, though. I got a great deal of pleasure from seeing it. Right until the completers went down due to a virus from the fucking Romulans. Chief Engineer Gomez managed to purge the virus from the systems just in time, as another Romulan warbird, presumably under the control of the parasites, was detected heading towards us. We're en route to the third planet in the Moana system. Fuck knows what we'll find there. When I first got here and realized actually where I was, I felt it'd be safe at least. How wrong I was. Especially now that I've gone through a psych evaluation of the fucking Ferengi. I haven't heard the results yet, but I'm sure they're wrong.
Thank you very much. And indeed,
to be fair, I'm just going to say that was ad-libbed from the original version, but I added a few fucks. But I will say, as an American and the person that cusses all the time, the first line of that, and I will screenshot it for our Discord, is just F and then like 70 U's and then CK. So that was on, that was on our glorious leader. Just saying.
Well, that was a good opener for Varren's log was fuck.
I hadn't actually read it out loud, and then I realized I'm not actually good at reading stuff out loud, and then also I'm like 2 beers in, and I'm just like, this is gonna suck. Let's just go.
It was interesting. I was like, there was like that 50% of like, has this written, or is this just Usher swearing at it?
You don't really. You never know with me. That's why you have the American. You never know.
So yeah, the Woobers just exploded.
Well, it did. But when we left last time, then you're en route to the third planet of the Moana system. Indeed, Davok's been doing some research about the planet. Finding out it's an ocean planet. But not much information about it because it's in the neutral zone, of course. Bosh, you've been conducting psych evaluations, and I believe you've delivered the results to the acting captain.
I have.
Now we all get fired.
So we bring ourselves back in. Let's say we're about a day away from Moana 3, so there is time to do things if you wish to, or we can skip ahead.
There is one thing, and it's something I want to do to the entire away team and anyone else in command. Always.
Another trip to that dark, curtained off area in
I need everyone to wear these.
Cough.
Yes, no. So anybody with any command privileges, I just want to do an additional. Well, it's going to be an additional scan, and essentially, especially after what happened to me, what I want to search for is any signs of any recent medical procedures that may have brain kind of tweaking, because they'll have to have, even with kind of probes and things, there will be some even minor damage.
I'm gonna be honest, Varren, at this point, given what's happened to you, given that you're the medical doctor on the station, and the fact that you did a full psych eval on him beforehand, the fact that you were just put back into your own position, Varren's gonna cause a fuss on this. He's gonna be like, what the fuck is it? Why is he giving me more scans? If anything, he should have more scans because he just got back.
Yep, no, I had a full psych eval done by senior staff, and I will be submitting 2 scans as well, although as a Ferengi, these scans are a little bit primitive, but yeah, it's fine.
I mean, that's wonderful. I also had full psych evals given to me after you got back from your traumatizing event, and whatever PTSD that you have is in your own bullshit, and I'm not going to take another scan. So I'm just going to walk out. If Wraal has an issue with it, he can take it to me personally, but I'm sure it's not taking another scan from you after a full psych eval.
Bosh, are you looking for physical trauma, like physical scarring on the brain and that sort of thing, or are you looking more for neural pattern.
So Bosh is looking for physical scarring. Matt has other ideas, but Bosh is following what he knows.
Okay, there are other ways of getting that information, and certainly the scans that were taken following the firefight, you could examine to see that without having to conduct fresh scans.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I want to check to see whether there's any any alterations. Basically, if anybody else has been taken off when we weren't realised and programmed in any way.
Okay, I can tell you there is no evidence of that with any.
You're the only one that is crazy, Matt.
Other than you. And given what you've experienced, what you remember of what you've experienced, the signs that you're reading for your own scans would make sense. It matches up.
Yeah. Okay.
But nothing for any of the other away team at all.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
So
Davok, is anything you'd like to do in the preceding turn?
Other than gather as much information as possible on what we might find when we get to our destination.
Which we've pretty much done. I know you were focusing on Moana 3, but to be honest, there's just not that much about it.
Do we know if it's freshwater or saltwater? I think it's an ocean planet.
It's an ocean planet, so it's saltwater.
Okay.
However, you don't know what the concentration of salt is.
So we don't know if we're going to float.
You don't. They all
I-
float.
Dead Sea Holidays.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We are going to where we assume the parasites are making an Iconian gateway. And the fact that Iconian gateway came out of my mouth, Captain Quinn should be excited for me for being a full-blown fucking Trekkie. I've done it. I've made it. Iconian gateway is something I've said now. That being said, we're going to this planet. Do we have any clue as to what the resistance is? How many people we're facing, or aliens that we're facing, or whatever the fuck is between a Klingon and a parasite and those guys, or the Romulans that we're facing? We actually have no info on forces that we're coming down with. How much?
What did we get from the DCs? Was it just a system and was it a location on the planet?
It was a location and a system and an idea of what the planet was. We clearly don't know the atmosphere because that's the same thing that Davok is figuring out. But my curiosity is numbers, sheer numbers. Like, so we don't know anything like that. Do we have any momentum? Because I know I like guns, and I know you guys hate me for liking guns, but we may need a lot of guns to go down on this planet if there's just a sheer amount of numbers that we're going to face.
So to answer one very brief question, no, you have no momentum at the moment because we're starting a new season.
God damn.
But
someone make a computer check.
Tactical analysis for you then. No, you've no idea about numbers of forces. However, one bit of information that has been revealed as part of your investigation, your adventure, whatever you might want to call it, is that they suspect that there's a queen down there, one of these neural parasite queens that controls all the rest of the neural parasites.
Do we know anything?
Tactically speaking, it would make sense that they would heavily protect the queen.
Okay.
But you haven't been given numbers. You've no idea about vessels. You've no idea about armaments, shielding. Okay. Nothing. You've got nothing.
All right. So I'm going to ask a question, which probably Captain Quinn will remember, but it's basically a question about military and Star Trek, and I'm just curious. Other than like the phase. What is it? I think it's a Type 3 phaser, which is the long gun.
Big one.
Phase rifle.
I could be wrong. Other than the phase rifle, is there any other stuff that a Star Trek or that a Federation ship would have on board to protect their occupants in a full frontal assault? Because it sounds like if they're, I also don't know what a queen is. That's my next question. If we have any information on that, but
yeah, isn't,
I mean,
isn't there concussion grenades?
yeah, I mean, if you're going into a battle, you want to have the best shit, and I feel like a phase rifle is not the best shit.
Yeah, and Micah's Free has mentioned these because you've got replicators, so you can create anything you like, basically, as long as it exists. But photon grenades are an option.
What does a photon grenade do? Because that just sounds terrible, and it sounds like it evaporates Davok. When I'm running and it falls out of my pocket, it just evaporates Davok.
Well, what you do is you pull a pin and you throw it, and it evaporates whatever you've thrown it at. So if you throw it at Davok, then yes.
Davok, you're always super close to me. I'm just going to put it in your pocket.
I'll remind myself to keep a good distance.
Does it like suck it in? Is it like a weird like black hole thing that just sucks it in, or does it just turn everything to dust? I'm just curious about the animation.
It basically, it's an explosion. It may vaporize things if it's fragile enough, but if it's heavily shielded or heavily armored, it may not.
Yeah. Final question: what about like on a regular starship? If I was going to throw that down the hallway, would it absorb the walls and the roof? Would it cause a cave-in, or is it not powerful enough to take in a starship sort of thing? And the reason I ask that is because we're going to be in regular buildings. I want to make sure that my explosive did not just like break the building as well as the target that it's going after.
No, it's unlikely. I mean, if you chuck one directly at a load-bearing wall, like if you chuck repeated ones at it, then yeah, it's going to take the wall down.
Got it. Thank you.
Think of it like TNT. It's probably the kind of best way to look at it.
Gotta be honest, like I am American. We do have like Wile E. Coyote and bullshit like that, but I really have no actual idea of what TNT can do, Sue, oddly enough.
Okay, it's used in demolitions to basically blow shit up.
No,
I have a really good video to send you.
I realize that, but if I were to put it in a hallway in like an elementary school, I can't tell you.
In a hallway, it wouldn't do a huge amount. TNT is better if it's packed underneath something because the concussive force helps to blow it out.
The fact that you know this makes me want to call like all the authorities.
Actually, to be fair, yeah, TNT is usually used as the accelerator, isn't it?
All right, well, thank you. I'm happy we have other psychopaths on this fucking stream.
But if you as far as other weapons, if you're feeling a bit Jean-Luc, you can pick a rapier was a choice. If you're feeling a bit Sulu, then a foil.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking a bit Rambo, and I want a goddamn machine gun and mow these motherfuckers down. It's not a rapier or whatever.
Are we sure psych evaluation was
accurate?
The psych evaluation was accurate.
The psych evaluation should be accurate.
My question for the psych evaluation was that for Usher or Varren, and I'm still asking that question.
Yeah, we're still uncertain on that.
The answer is yes, 100%. Anyways, all right. I'm sorry. I was just curious. I don't want to. The problem with the grenade is I don't want to cause more damage than what we're in, especially if you're like in a vacuum, right? Like if space is a vacuum outside of that, I don't want to like breach a hole in the wall if you throw a grenade.
You wouldn't breach a hull of a starship with one.
Got it.
They're too small to do that.
Got it.
And starship hulls are thick.
I figured.
And if it's
a heavy duty building down on the ground, then yeah, it probably won't do damage to that either.
But but other than like the concussive grenades, you really suck to Type 2 and Type 3 phasers, and really that's it as far as Starfleet goes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because
you do have disruptors
and explorers, not.
We've collected some disruptors, and the interesting
Varren always has a disruptor on him.
And Captain Quinn's idea of a TR-116, which if it is what I think it is, would be fantastic, but they're banned.
What is a?
Yeah.
I think the TR-116 is the holographic imaging through walls, DS9.
Yes, but the holographic imaging was actually an add-on to it. The TR-116 was actually a physical propelled bullet that was for use in situations where energy weapons were dampened.
What was it? Because it had a beaming bit that it meant that it disappeared and then materialised.
It did. It was a modified
The more
TR-116 for that specific reason. It had the microtransporter and the imaging system added to it.
Guys, it just got super fucking nerdy in here. Let's just
yeah.
I'm just
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But there we go. So
It's all right. It's not like we're 45 minutes in and haven't rolled the dice yet.
I'm also very
Exactly.
consciously
We haven't even
aware.
started the show.
I don't think there are any rules in game for photon grenades, so I'd have to make that shit up on the fly.
Well, you're good at that. You can do that.
Ben says pulse grenades are 4d6 area plus your security.
Where the fuck did Ben get this information?
Oh, right.
Do you have the rules, Usher?
No, of course not. I'm just curious as to where Ben made that crap up because it sounds like
I
it
probably
came from
found it in the
a
rules. It
5e
sounds right.
game and not a Star Trek adventure game.
No, that sounds right. That sounds
Page
right.
193 of the rulebook.
Oh yes, pulse grenade. Just found it. Yeah.
Also, I can cast
There you
Fireball
go.
at 8d6
Pulse.
damage.
Page
I'm just
193 of the rule book. There you go. Yeah, so there you go. Pulse grenades, that's a thing. That's what you can
Okay.
have. Well, assuming your captain allows it. So
we
that's
can't have any of it because we had no momentum, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Let's get some momentum. I want to do some computer
medical,
checks.
science, and security sorted out now. Captain, what would you like to do?
Oh god!
Should we get a bit closer to the planet in question?
Probably. We're still 3 days away.
One day away. We can fast forward that. I just wanted to check what people wanted to do in the remaining time, especially now that some people have some information that they didn't have before.
The information that I have now, which I didn't have before, I'm fine with. We'll just carry on for the moment.
Okay, cool. So fast forwarding, we cut forward to the planet of Moana 3. As the Livingston drops out of warp into a standard orbit around it.
Excellent. Now,
Would you like to
I know
do?
you wanted to... Oh, I know someone who wants to do something. Mr. Davok,
Yes.
full scans, please.
Yes, all the scans.
All the scans.
Searching
All
for
the scans.
All the
Fantastic.
fields,
Now this is a...
weapons, life signs,
Oh,
cargo.
I want to know the
Yeah.
number of molecules of hydrogen anywhere
Yeah.
in the system.
I would like to do this over a repeated number of attempts.
About 6 momentum's worth.
So, you'll remember when you first approached the Alcubierre, there was that spatial distortion caused by its engines that affected your sensors. And then, when you got to the mining colony, there was the diamagnetic ore that was affecting your sensors. Well, here, on Moana 3, there is nothing affecting your sensors. It is a difficulty 0 task. You can only do it once, though, I will say. However, you do get, I want a reason and science, plus you're assisted by the ship with a sensor and science.
Okay. Who's doing shit?
Who's in the ship? I've got a dice. I'll do the ship.
Okay. Gonna do yours.
Have you got the ship stats?
I do have them immediately to hand. There we are.
Excellent.
So
there we
I
go.
can't remember what you said. Was it sensors?
Sensors and science for the ship.
11 we need. Okay. I've got a 5.
Ooh, good. Right, that's one momentum.
Does my focus in astrophysics help?
Ooh, no, you're scanning a planet, not space.
Okay. I mean, a planet is in space.
Everything's in space if you want to look
Exactly.
at it.
That's why
The universe. Anything that exists within the universe, you get an extra focus. No. I appreciate, but no.
This is why I get a special rule in relaxing period. Okay, I needed to hit 14, and I rolled a 10 and a 14.
Excellent. So you get 2 more momentum. You now have 3 momentum. For what it's worth, because we have started a new scene, I restart my threat, and I get 2 for each of you. So I'm on 8 threat. There we go. So you get some information. Now, you think I'd be prepared here? So first of all, I can tell you about the planet itself. Dozens of island chains dot this vast blue ocean world. 6 moons orbit the planet, along with a ring of rocky debris that is probably from another moon that broke up when its orbit decayed. However, your sensors tell you some more information. They tell you that the ruins of an ancient city litter the largest forested island in the southern hemisphere. They tell you that there is a Starfleet runabout on the outskirts of the ruins near what appears to be a debris field of an ancient alien ship. It's LV-426. No,
ancient ship. Like
hurt down.
Ancient alien ship.
What is ancient in Star Trek terms? I mean, because we're like 24th century. So is ancient like 22nd century or like fucking 1950s?
Could be 200 years, could be 1,000 years, could be 1,000,000 years.
Okay, so CDs are not really a thing. Vinyl is by far not the way to go. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And,
I dropped the kids off to the pool.
The other thing that your sensors tell you
I was just waiting.
is that there are life signs among the ruins. One human that appears to be evading 3 Romulan pursuers. Now, you can spend momentum to get some more information if you like.
Drag it out of him, Davok.
Yes, that's it, yes.
Spend that momentum.
Easy come, easy go, eh? So, the ruins that I mentioned, they extend deep underground and appear to be protected by a deflector shield.
Of course it is.
And the characteristics of the structure very closely match the previous Iconian architecture from previous Iconian sites. And the debris of the alien ship is of no known configuration, but its composition is very similar to the vessel found by the survey team who discovered the neural parasites that infiltrated Starfleet Command 16 years ago.
All coming together.
Seems to be the same, at least the same origin.
Although that everyone in chat has figured out that my secret is going off earphones to get more booze.
It wasn't that much of a secret, to be fair.
I knew, and I know it's not a secret. It was just more funny to me that everyone in chat is talking about it now, and I feel like I should probably rein it in. Anyways, thanks guys for outing me.
Excellent. Good scanning as ever.
Yes.
Oh,
Excellent scanning. However, just as you finish reporting these scans to your captain, you get a sudden warning light on your computer console, Davok. High levels of neutrinos suddenly in the area. I am going to allow you to do one minor action with the ship based on that information before something else happens.
Neutrino? Shields.
Shield.
Shields
Is there a button? Red button.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be for Lee Varren to press, but yes.
I probably wouldn't actually send them up. I did the Zoom background just because it seemed funny. But if we actually have, like, I don't know, is it a threat?
Well, your captain has just ordered shields up. Are you going
then
to raise
absolutely.
shields?
Red alert. Shields up. 100%. Smash that table. Everyone go to the background. Matt, where are you?
Your shields raise as at that moment a Romulan Deredex warbird decloaks at 12 o'clock.
God damn it, another one.
It's Davok's friends are back. Every time we get one of these turn up.
Now, because it has surprised you, they are taking the first action, and their minor action is in fact to decloak. However, I am going to spend a point of threat so that they get an additional minor action to raise their shields.
Wait, so
They
ships
are
have
them.
like we're in combat now.
It would seem so from their actions so far.
Wait a moment. Can we open a hailing channel to that Romulan warbird before anything goes too badly wrong?
You can't talk him out of it, Wraal.
You can on your turn. That would have been an option for your minor action.
Well,
Oh no.
start communicating with nothing we could see. So I don't feel like leaning my head out the window and shouting into space.
Absolutely. So, yeah, but you can on your turn. However, because they have decloaked and surprised you, they get to go first. I can tell you that they are a scale 6, which means that they get 6 turns in a round. I believe Livingston is a scale of 3. So the Deredex will get a turn, Livingston will get a turn, so on back and forth until the Livingston's had all its turns, then the Deredex will take its other turns.
That's three extra.
We're a really small boy.
Oh no.
It's a small ship. What do you mean little? Said Worf. Right,
We have only just started, so there's that.
This Deredex is going to fire its disruptors
Brace for impact.
at you. So
Why are they? Why are we getting attacked?
This
Wraal,
is
what have you
a-
done? What decision have you made? It's your fault, I guarantee it.
Apparently, standard orbit annoys them.
Clearly,
We parked in a disabled bay.
Did we stay in lane?
You didn't think going to the coordinates given by a random Romulan ship that just randomly blew up in front of us was a good idea? You didn't think you should vet it through Starfleet beforehand?
I may have already done so.
it is a difficulty
you didn't
3
do it
task,
beforehand.
I can tell you. And they only managed 2 successes.
Do we get threat?
Do you get threat?
Yeah.
No, you get momentum.
Like reverse. Oh, okay. I just
Yeah.
wanted to have some reverse threat to throw some back at you.
But what you do get is a turn.
Okay, first of all, we will open hailing frequencies with them. Urgent.
Oh my god, no! Fire missiles at them!
Okay. So,
just start
hailing
explore if that was a warning shot.
frequencies is a control and engineering. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make this really, really simple. There is no response.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, in that case, let us pull some evasive maneuvers. And I shall do that.
Okay.
Daring and con.
You're jumping into the con chair then.
I
take
simply
it.
tap my takeover con button.
Okay. So, at helm, a evasive action is a daring and con roll, assisted by the ship structure and con, difficulty 2.
Okay, let's try me first of all. Daring and con is 14 in total, and I've got a 14 and a 9, so 2 successes there.
Excellent. Do you? Oh no, that wouldn't be affected if you had a focus. Anyway,
no. And sorry, you said the ship was engines, structure,
Structure and con.
Structure and con.
and the ship gets a 5, so an extra one there.
Oh, excellent. So you get a momentum back. Fantastic. So remind us, what does evasive action do?
Evasive action increases the difficulty of the Romulans to hit us by 1.
Okay, and how long does that last for?
Hang on, let me just say until the flight controller's next task. So,
okay. So basically it's like sustained until the flight controller does something different.
It's like concentration or something.
Wow, that's made it a difficulty 4 task.
Well, we are basically a fly buzzing around them now. There's no way they can swat us.
Excellent choice. Now that is that a major action or a minor action?
That is that's a task. So yeah, it's a task within the round. Yeah.
Task. Normally minor actions would be carried out first, but is there anything you would like to do as a minor action? Oh no, you tried opening hailing frequencies, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the Deridex is going to spend threats to get an extra die. They're going to try again to shoot you with their disruptors. I'm trying to remember now. This is.
I've only just got your fried egg joke. Sorry.
We have. Oh no, we don't. Okay, they have just tried to hit you again with their disruptors and failed. Back around to you.
Okay. Well, in that case, it's one of us's go essentially on board the ship. So I've taken a task. Do we want to open fire back at them and see if we can disable them?
Is that what you want to do, Captain?
Did I disrupt their shields?
Well, yeah. I'm just. It's been a while since we've done any of this. Maru time.
We've never actually had a ship-to-ship fight before.
How about
very handy options?
Using the sensors for the second sensor operation?
Scan for weakness, I believe it is.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, that sounds fun at all. We could also just nuke the fuck out of them. I'm just saying.
I mean, Captain Quinn would like us to
is
fly,
not part of this game,
but would like us
and
to fly
that's something
into the
we should
empty...
note. I'm just saying that Captain Quinn is also not part of this game.
Yeah,
just saying.
I mean, I'm thinking if we scan for weakness, then Mr. Varren can then go full guns on the weak point and basically, essentially, kick the warbird in its danglies.
Mm-hmm.
We can also just nuke the shit out of them, blow out their shields, and then continue bombing them into oblivion. I'm just saying.
Well, basically we've got 3 goes to their 6. If anyone's going to get bombed to oblivion, it's probably us.
And then we should go down without being a pansy.
So I think we should scan for the weaknesses.
We're probably going to go with Matt's suggestion,
we shall be
it's probably the right thing.
We'll be scanning for weakness, Mr. Davok.
All right.
Okay. It's a difficulty 2.
Uh-huh.
And because they're at medium range.
Mm-hmm.
Control and science and sensors and security, I believe.
Oh, and science.
Yes.
Okay. Does astrophysics or warp core thingies help me in this scenario?
Afraid not.
Okay. Unless their weakness is their warp core.
They don't have a warp core.
They
use a quantum singularity. God,
That is their weakness. All right.
If only they put someone in the warp core, they would learn.
I will get under 14. And I rolled a 13 and a 7. Yay, 2 successes.
Excellent. 2 successes there, and you get a roll from the ship as well.
Okay.
That's sensors and security.
13 or under?
I rolled a 19.
Oof.
Okay.
Ignore that.
So you get a success, but no more momentum. And what does scan for weaknesses? I mean, I know logically what it would do, but does it increase? What does it do mechanically?
Now you've got me.
Hang on, let me get my
It
bits.
sounded good, didn't it?
Page 222.
Oh, well done. I've only got my helm and navigation reference card.
And I got a thing. Let's see if I... Oh, shit.
Shit.
So Stu's got the tome out.
What did we do? Scan.
Got the posh copy of Rules of Acquisition.
Damage.
I can assure you it's cheapest binding possible.
Everyone's looking. Maybe I should look down at something as well. Everyone seems to be looking.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No.
Guys,
It's not just thematic, is it? Look at the GM and see what he does.
So, if this succeeds, then the vessel's next attack, before the end of the sensor operator's next turn, gains the Piercing 2 quality, ignoring 2 of the target's resistance per effect rolled.
Ooh, tasty.
guys, I unfortunately actually have an actual emergency that I need to deal with, and I apologize.
Okay.
I gotta leave. Family stuff. I'll just talk to you guys later. I'm really sorry, and I love all of you.
We'll
But
go on break.
I gotta go now.
Now for a word from our sponsors.
Yeah. There we are, and we are back live, and oh my goodness, all we can see is Usher. Let me readdress the scene, because it's all...
No, we can
it
just
all goes
see
a bit
Ed.
strange.
Oh,
There we
me.
go.
Oh, that's better.
It was just,
There
it was
we
just
go. We're
full,
sorted.
full Ed head.
Hey.
Massive gleam.
There we are.
Blinded all our regular...
So yeah, for people watching, we are going to. We just had a very quick chat off air. We think it would be a real shame to carry on without Usher, especially as he likes blowing shit up.
And it's
So,
basically the next go is to fire phasers.
Shoot stuff.
So yeah.
Yeah. So but I mean, obviously, we don't know what the emergency is, but we wish Usher all the very best.
Yeah.
With whatever's happening. Yeah, but you guys, you wanted to ask the viewers who know far more about this game than any of us some questions, didn't you?
Yeah, can you just tell us the rules? Let's have a little Q&A session. You know, teach us the game.
I'm actually interested in chat whether or not they have come to the same conclusion that Matt, definitely not Bosh, that Matt has come to on Usher's. On Varren's behaviour.
As it happens, we got. I was just about to suggest doing something when we suddenly got jumped by another Romulan warbird. I mean, every time I turn around, and you can't go anywhere in this sector of the galaxy without falling over another Romulan warbird. It's like my child's toys around the carpet. Who keeps leaving them lying about? But that sort of snuffed that for the moment. But I may do it later on, provided we don't get blown to atoms by this extremely big spaceship.
Yeah.
Well, I think on the back of that, Matt, I think we need to hear what your theory is.
Well, see, my theory, and which is why it's my theory and not Bosh's, has actually come from his log. So, I think he may not be our Varren. I think he might have a goatee.
Oh, he does have a fascination with knives.
Right. What does Davok think?
Sorry, Davok wasn't paying attention. What was the question?
It's freezing up for me.
What?
So
What
you can say it out loud what you think. I mean, you're obviously not going to get any confirmations or denials from me.
But obviously,
just no info.
So obviously, there's concerns medically about Usher. I mean about Varren, and that's why there was a psych evaluation, etc. Obviously, psych evaluation given to everyone, but it was definitely focused on Varren. And his psych evaluation is different to the ones that he came with from the Titan. So something's changed in the time that he was aboard the Titan to being aboard with us now. So Bosh is a bit confused, was going down the has he been abducted and mentally manipulated. We've already checked in, he doesn't have a parasite. We thought that might have been a thing. And so Bosh is at a loss. Yeah, given the ship's log opening, I said I think he's got secretly got a goatee.
Now, eagle-eyed and eagle-eared listeners and viewers will notice that last episode we were interested in the physical scans. Now, obviously, that appears to be, as the landing party come up. It's old-fashioned. Away team, sorry, landing party. Do you think I am? TOS era. I always call it
Those
TOS.
old scientists.
We always call it TOS. That's what when I'm talking about Kirk. Yeah, when I said bring them up, and obviously they had the medical scans. Now, it does seem that everyone was being checked for parasites, but in reality, I was certainly more interested in other things being spotted in that, and that's why I got the confirmation that there was no difference, which is particularly strange because following Bosh's and Matt's suspicion, should I say Matt's suspicion more, of where he comes from, we would be expecting there to be a distinct difference in his physical resonance than everybody else. But it came up as no variance, which is very strange, which is what I reported to Admiral Janeway. But the thing that is still tickling in the corner, tickling the back of everybody's lobes, is that the psych evaluation is noticeably different. The point at which he was transferred over here or over to us.
You are free to tickle my lobes anytime.
So, as you say, well, as you know, the psychic evaluation has some extremely xenophobic tendencies, and basically an awful lot of stuff that would have never ever got through any sort of Starfleet Academy. You wouldn't have passed out at the end, because obviously at the Academy you have psychological evaluations as well as your physicals as well, because you may be able to do all the tasks, but they don't want maniacs being loosed off even at ensign level. So yeah, that would never have got through that far, and certainly not, serving on board a ship like the Titan. That would have definitely been picked up. So, as you say, what we've
Titan's only got room for one maniac, and he's captain.
And he's got a beard as well.
I have a quick question. So
Why don't I have a
Ed
beard?
and I have a beard, but Ed and Matt have carefully avoided saying the actual thing that they're saying. They've skirted around it. But Amy, do you have a clue what they're talking about?
No.
Oh.
No, I suspected not. You
Yeah.
can say it, guys. You can say what you're actually thinking.
Please do.
We think Varren is a Terran.
Yes, we
I
think
don't
he
know
could
what
be
that is.
from
We
the
think
mirror universe.
He is Varren, but he's not our Varren.
Oh, like a doppelganger.
Kind of an alternative universe.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember a Buffy episode about this.
Through the looking glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's there's been little hints and tips here and there, and I was told by Admiral Janeway before we even as we started this mission to keep an eye on him, which is why he was sent on the away team as the leader in the first place. We needed to bring that out. I can't do it as commander. I can't do anything without some sort of evidence. So at the moment,
yeah, as Ed says, one of the key points of evidence, these people coming over from that universe, basically where there isn't a federation, humans are basically evil. It's like, what if Hitler won World War II kind of thing. They're a fascist, xenophobic society, humans, in that other universe. But they have a very different and very, very well-known different quantum signature to our own.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things that, if you don't mind me saying, Ed, one of the things that they checked for.
that was absolutely what I was saying. If I'd have basically stuck him in a vat of quantum checking and dunked him by the ankles, that's what I could have done.
And there was no quantum variance.
Yeah.
That was
in
the
terms
weird
of quantum signature, he belongs in this universe.
So my thinking is, yeah, he's not. He is Varren. He's not our Varren, or is the mind that's in it not our Varren?
Yeah, like mirror universe mind transfer.
Mirror universe mind, prime universe body. Now that's going to be, because that would be ideal if you were trying to hide in this universe, especially if those in the mirror universe know that they can be identified when they're here.
Yeah, bugger to work out though.
Yeah, as long as you suspect enough to actually do the test.
Yeah,
I mean it's been done. Not wanting to ruin anything for anyone who's watched Discovery, but it has been done. You can sneak in and get away with it.
Not seen any of Discovery, so.
It's
No, well, it was done in Deep Space Nine, so that'll be what Zed's referring to.
And of course, Spock mentions in the original Mirror that it's easier for a civilized man to hide amongst barbarians than it is for barbarians to pretend to be a civilized man. So even Spock noted that they would be found out if they got over here faster than we would if we went to the Mirror universe.
I'll throw this out there. How fucking pretentious was Spock?
Oh yes.
and arrogant.
And what a mock-up, because basically they had a lovely fascist imperial dictatorship going on, and he wrecked it. He absolutely ruined it. So by the time you get to Deep Space Nine, the poor old Mirror Universe Terrans are nothing more than the slave race to the Cardassians and Klingons.
Exactly. Where's your prime directive now, eh?
Exactly. Hundreds of years of progress and conquest ruined.
So that's one theory. Paul has put a theory out there in the chat that in fact it does have a parasite and is possibly even the queen.
Oof, Paul, that's vicious. Should you? I think you should write units. I think you should write modules for this.
There's a few people who did agree, though. He should have a goatee. He's from the other side of the looking glass, things like
sash.
that. But then, and then of course people have changed minds because quantum signature.
Which is literally that was all of last episode and the 2 weeks subsequently. I've been sat here going, but the quantum signature doesn't match. That was it. That was the smoking gun I didn't have.
So, any other theories? Any other thoughts?
I mean, I just thought he was being a human.
Davok. A horrible thing to say about them. Look, there's no humans here. Trills, Ferengi, Vulcan.
Yeah, I don't know that much about them. I was
The moment the humans
raised on Vulcan.
you start giving them a hard time.
Yeah, I don't give anyone a hard time.
Unless they're not Vulcan, or unless they're human, actually.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's this sort of. That's why I was thinking mind-altered, like surgery. I guess there's sort of like mind meld manipulation,
Especially considering what Bosh went through in the interim between two episodes ago when he was vanished. Yeah, that would be a very possible plot.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah, what theories have we got on that?
Oh, where Bosh went? Oh, humans in black uniforms. I mean, either he got kidnapped by the intergalactic goth fraternity, or it's Section 31.
Could have been the crew of the Lex.
Yeah, I mean, did you hear any? I forgot to ask you with those lobes. Did you hear any music while you were there? Was anyone playing The Cure in the distance?
No. The only things I heard, I told you about. They were questioning. Major Davok, and they were talking to a gentleman who was referred to as the director.
So could this be like just another evolution of the parasite that we're just not understanding quite? Because we've seen them merge with Klingons, and Klingons got all like armory and in line with how Klingons are. So when these parasites attach to someone else, a human or a Ferengi, do they present themselves differently because those races have different qualities? Or
so you mean you think it sort of accentuates their negative traits, but the things that will give an advantage to the parasites as a species? So yeah.
So you're saying that Varren is North American now rather than North American in Star Trek time?
Are you suggesting that he's regressed? Oh, okay.
Yes, essentially. Because I mean, actually, the Klingons did go to an earlier stage, and this would be an earlier human stage.
More violent. We have sort of pre first contact, World War III, eugenics wars. The sort of the violence of the 20th century period.
Because like humans don't grow like armored skin, or we don't protect ourselves other than other things that we make. So
it's more like an emotional state of mind, like the xenophobia and the violence.
Yeah. But they just want to disrupt what we're doing. So maybe that's
interesting.
Well, remember that when I reported Bosch's encounter to Admiral Janeway, she said, "Oh, so they're interested, are they?" So yeah, if it's Section 31 sniffing about, senior admirals will probably be aware of them, even if they have no idea how, to what level they're in. But certainly can't just go around asking questions, because it will all be denied. Section 31 is plausible deniability. Unless they actually come up to you and say, "Hi, we need you to work for us. We need you to save the Federation," because that's how they get people in.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably worth mentioning that this point in time in the timeline, Section 31 are more or less nothing more than rumours. So actually, it's perfectly reasonable that some of you will have heard of them, some of you won't.
Part of their sort of defence mechanism is to make it appear that they are rumour as well. So they'll, they may even start rumours in some areas just to make it, just to sort of discredit people who then may say, "I had to do it. Section 31 told me to do it." It's like, yeah, he's a lunatic.
And indeed, they would discredit people who claim to know about them. You know, I mean, very much like like people who have UFO experiences get discredited. And
there's a reason why they're the men and women in black.
There we go. And have you shared everything about your experience there, Bosh? I'll rephrase that. Have you shared everything you're going to share about your experience there, Bosh?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh God, it's got to be bad. If Bosh doesn't want to say something, it's got to be. It's not safe for internet at all, and that's the internet.
Yeah. So, hi, Jaunty. Yeah, Usher unfortunately had an emergency. He had to leave. We've no idea what, but yes, we're hoping he's okay as well. We'll pass on your good wishes. So we're just chatting about the game and how it's going and theories. Lots and lots of conspiracy theories. I mean, one of the few theories I've not heard from you about Bosch's abduction, about Major Dagor's abduction, about the whole Varren thing, what's going on there. None of you have said the ultimate theory, which is it was aliens.
Aliens.
But then who's an alien when you're all aliens in space?
Yeah, I mean, the Livingston is a very diverse crew. I mean, it's very hard to pick out the humans on it, to be honest with you. We've got literally every form of Federation citizen on it, and I think we've got maybe a couple of security guards and Varren are the only humans that I know of. Oh, and obviously Grace as well.
I'm not even a Federation citizen, technically.
Yeah, it's more like a Federation permitted. Where there's profit.
No, that's true. You're not a Federation citizen unless you've taken a citizenship test, which it would be up to you. No?
Yeah, nope.
Okay. But you are Starfleet.
Yep.
Be expected to abide by Federation laws.
Yes, I'm just not a Federation citizen. It's like I'm from Jersey, I'm British, but I'm not English.
Yeah. Oh, I meant to ask you, does that mean you speak French?
Je suis parlé français un petit peu. Literally, that's about as much as I remember.
Bonsoir. That's it.
Ça va?
Moi aussi.
Ouais,
so my partner's French.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've gone completely off track there, and I've totally derailed the whole thing. But yeah,
you can tag on like English and French in the Twitch stream now as well. You can just boost the viewership.
Yeah. So, Major Dagor, what are our theories regarding her?
Actually, I can't remember what train station is, but it would be Uele if I was asking where the train station is.
Uele-le-Gork is not the same as Uele-le-Gare.
Yeah.
Uele-le-Gork, le Gork est sur la section 31 vessel. Bateau d'espace.
La
Bateau mystérieuse d'espace.
La garçon d'un noir.
Oui.
Which is the boys in black, but you know.
Now, it seems that has anyone been kidnapped or beam napped who is potentially more knowledgeable about the parasites than the rest of us? So Major Dagor presented herself as saying that she was a particular specialist in the neural parasites, hence why she'd been sent here, although the KDF doesn't know anything about her, which is also sinister. So she turns up to investigate the parasites, gets nicked. We've got a doctor who's spent some time also investigating the parasites on Kortar Station and on the mining colony with us, gets nicked. So if you put a tricorder anywhere near one of these parasites, you have a little bit of a trip away to the space goths and their creepy spaceships anytime now. I'm going nowhere near the tricorders. Apart from the fact that Bosh has broken them all, I'm going nowhere near any of the tricorders.
Can we just like replicate new tricorders, or does it like do you need to replicate the parts to make them?
No, you can replicate. I think you can replicate a tricorder.
Yeah, well, we said Bosh is...
So like, how big can you like replicate stuff? So,
like a cuddly tricorder.
Yeah, like no, but like if it's a case that you just can replicate, like how big can you go? Because like with a 3D
there are
printer,
industrial replicators that will replicate buildings.
Yeah, but not on the ship. We could possibly reconfigure to like add it into the transporter, but yeah, it's a bit of a yeah. But yeah.
How many tricorders did you? Are you just wanting like a specific parasite scanning one that you can just?
Yeah.
It's like you can stand two of them either side of the bridge, and when anyone walks through who's got a parasite, it goes. Security guards can jump on them and give them a quick pat down. Take your belt off, shoes, scanner.
Excellent.
Not allowed on the bridge with kids.
So not too many theories then overall.
no.
Not really. We've
Some. Lots
Davok
about
needs more
Varren.
data.
Yeah,
No, he's on the Enterprise.
Davok,
no, he's dead now.
Oh,
Yeah, he's dead now.
he's the
for at
best.
least 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all need more data in our lives. Another theory in the chat though, from Ben. Is Varren a Klingon that has been changed, but that would have come up, wouldn't it? Unless it's just the mind. So
Yeah, the scans and the
Klingon
transporter scans would have probably picked it up.
You're still registering as well. Essentially, no variants. So what we were guessing was he's got everything. His entire physical scan was exactly the same from every physical scan he's presumably ever had in Starfleet registers, which would go back until his day one at the academy, drop his pants and cough. Probably performed by Bosh himself.
Okay, and here's Usher back.
Oh,
So if we take a word from our sponsors?
Yeah, let's have a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, we pull it.
Hey, we're back again.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry. That was my mistake. Well, not my mistake, but I had something that came up family wise that I had to take care of, and no offense to you guys, but I like my family better than I like you guys.
I like your family better than I like you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I like. Yeah,
I was going to be. I like your family better than you, but I miss. Yeah.
No, we just lost it. It's over.
Yeah.
Alicar. Alicar will fix it.
Yeah, just so our viewers are aware, we're not going to jump straight back into the game because partly because there's just so little time left. It wouldn't be right. We will pick up from where we left off last time.
And where we left off is Varren about to blow stuff up.
Yeah.
Next turn is the Romulans.
Oh yes.
Thank you.
No, can we not spend momentum to take the next turn?
Yeah. That's happening.
Yeah.
Well,
Stuff it, Stu.
You've got the longest amount of time to think about your tactics for the next
2 weeks
plan
to
this.
figure out what the hell we're doing.
And it gives us 2 weeks to read the rules as well. Yay!
yeah.
Exactly.
Ship combat.
No, I'll apologize. I had a favor.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
You had a family thing and then you froze up. But we understand. I think we all understand. And yeah.
Oh, you get frozen because of my internet. My internet blows. So if I get frozen, yeah.
But you're back.
We'll just keep.
I may be back, but whatever. Keep talking about because my.
We carry on the conversation.
We're just not ever going to get anything out of it.
We can't carry on talking about Varren. That's not going to happen.
Not now he's here, no.
No.
Reasons for what Varren is. I'm just actually curious. You have Varren in the room right now. What do you actually think is going on with Varren?
We've had a whole conversation about that. You can watch on catch up.
No, he's gone. He's gone to watch it on catch up now.
He's literally just stunned into silence and frozen.
How dare you? How dare you refuse my simple request?
My internet is so bad. I'm so sorry.
I think it's worth noting that being the 28th of July now, we have been playing this game now as a group for 6 months. It's a kind of
That's true. Yeah.
High five,
Fives,
guys! Yeah.
and of course that equals and is still my record for playing any sort of RPG campaign with any group ever. This is the most number of sessions and the most amount of time I've played any RPG with anyone. So thank you, everybody.
I'm just gonna say thank you to Banker, who said Varren is God. I'm just saying.
Turns out you can have a fan club just by declaring that you've got one.
No, Benker's dyslexic. He said dog.
I can't even defend
Surely,
myself.
if he's dyslexic, he was calling Varren a dog.
Bosh and Wraal, you think I'm Terran?
He was away checking the stream. Well, they did think Varren was Terran.
Yeah.
There is something very Terran-ness about it in there somewhere, but there's enough bits that don't match that mean it's not just a simple he's wearing a goatee and a sash and a knife, because that wouldn't do for our stream. And with the people we've got playing, the imagination we've got here, and our awesome GM as well, it's not going to be as simple as he just turns up with a beard.
No, but
I do have an affinity for knives.
But
in this game.
if he is a Terran, I want those sideburn shaves. I want a full goatee and sash.
Yeah, he's getting cosplay.
Let's be fair. I'm going to clarify something. Stu, and I heard this on the way back because my sister is apparently a huge fucking nerd that I did not realize, and so I'm driving back, or I'm riding back and listen to the Twitch program that I'm supposed to be on. But anyways, it's telling me that Stu basically explained Terrans as evil humans, and I don't necessarily know that that's the right way to think about it. I think that if you have to look at the universe, right? So everything
nature
is
or nurture.
Yeah, everything. There's a lot of gray in there.
And
in the Terran universe, humans are saviors, and they feel like they are the best. And this universe, so the universe that I want to clarify, the universe that Varren is in, that universe, the universe that Varren is from, I'll say that humans are not. The idea of Terran is not like an extremist. It would seem extremist from the universe that our show takes place in. However, that being said,
you mean
you go to the other universe.
Varren's a Republican?
Probably, which is crazy for me because I am so democratic and so left wing that this character is crazy for me to play. He's xenophobic. It's all these things, and y'all mentioned xenophobic on the psych eval, so that's out and not a big deal. I also used it in a previous game where I said xenophobia was a reason for me to get beamed out. So all that is kind of like out of the bag, but seriously, like for me to play this character is so out of the realm of possibilities what I would ever do. But I would say that not everything, everything is viewed through a lens. And so I'm not going to give anything away, but I will say that the world you grew up in is how it shapes your viewpoint. And if you can think outside of that and take a lens and look at it like macroscopically, like super zoomed in, you get a feeling that, anybody's ideas are possible, from the Klingons to the Tal Shiar and all this other crazy. And you hear that? I listed Tal Shiar. I did that. That was yeah. You should be proud.
Something nerdy Star Trek correctly.
Yeah. I referenced some nerdy bullshit
Yeah, and sits like that, very pleased with himself.
Yeah, I am very pleased with myself, but I did, and I referenced some nerdy, stupid bullshit that all you love, but also yeah, it just kind of depends on where you're looking at it, and so that would be the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah, I think Chris makes a good point. We should probably bring it to a close.
I was going to respond to Chris's comment with, "I will cut this fucking stream."
No, I'm realizing what Chris is saying now, and I'm just looking at it, and I hate that he knows me so well. Anyways, I'll see you later. Bye.
Oh dear, no, we have fun.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think at this point in the game, and because we've all got to know each other off screen as well, and our characters for a little while, I think it's actually nice to almost have like a half a session here where we get to have the sort of discussion let the people at home
fun.
What we're thinking about the game as well, because this is our first time with this game as a game, as a system, as role playing in the Star Trek universe as well.
Yeah.
Or for you as an RPG entirely. Yeah, you had 6 months in a previous RPG, which is unnamed, but this is your kind of first experience with it. Amy is well versed in my drunkenness, so she knows totally about me and that sort of thing. But you just playing an RPG in general, and you said 6 months is like the longest amount. Like what would you have to say for someone who hasn't played an RPG like this before, or TT RPG?
Well, as you know, I am a big fanboy and a big I'll testify to anyone about how much I like this system, because I've played literally maybe 2 or 3 sessions of D&D in my life, and other tabletop games that aren't role-playing games in the pen and, quite literally, pencil and paper manner. They're never far away, my little people. I've said to people, if you've never played an RPG in your life and you like Star Trek, you should absolutely play this. Simply because it's, and that's why I recommended it when we came to discuss about doing a Star Trek role-playing game. I said, go for this particular set of rules, because I think it's just so well suited to it. And it is, any RPG system has the flexibility that you can just roll with it, and it is fundamentally, it's always your game, it's your party's game, it's your group's game. The book is there just to show you some mechanics that kind of make it look like you're rolling dice for a purpose, and to give a little bit of a chance of something might go wrong, and the GM can say, "Oh, the door slams shut in your face again, Usher."
Ooh, just a little. Jaunty Goblin says he still had got his copy of the Last Unicorn DS9 RPG somewhere, signed by Max Grunchick and Chase Masterson.
Wow. Brilliant.
I think we should go to Edinburgh and mug him.
Yeah, you should.
Pictures up. Let's do that.
As a Star Trek noob, I have no idea who those names are. Is that like important in the Star Trek?
Max
Rom
Grunchick
and
was
Lita.
Yeah.
So
Deep Space Nine, Rom and Lita.
Got it. Nice.
I will say, if anyone watching has any questions for any of the characters, but don't ask what Varren is. Anything else, but anything you'd like to ask anyone here, now's the time. Fire away while we're just, chatting.
It's your only
chance.
We won't do any more of this.
Not if I'm in control.
Oh no, I'm
Thanks, Jaunty.
Years from now, we'll be playing this live at the UK Games Convention with special guests flown in, and we'll have a panel in the evening afterwards, and it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, Jaunty with what's Varren.
Yeah. Oh, Chris has come up with a brilliant question. When do they get their lightsabers?
Oh my God!
When
Not
hell
soon
freezes over.
Not soon enough.
No, we have to go on a pilgrimage to get the kyber crystals before that happens.
No, we have to actually build our own, each individual as our final test.
We have to go to Ilium to do it, or to Ilum, or whatever it's called. I think I missed up a Mass Effect and a Star Wars there, but you know what? It's all fucking rad. So
Also,
yeah, Ilum.
I have tried to find the STL files to build a customizable lightsaber, but I haven't had time. But that was on a thought process.
Yeah,
nearest
I got to a prop was a cardboard phaser.
To answer Captain Quinn's question, would that be African or European?
That's a
but
good
Ben's
question.
asked a really
He can
good
grip
question.
it with his husk.
With the string.
Yeah. Ben's asked a really brilliant question. How does everyone compare this to other RPGs played? I think you've pretty much answered that one a little bit, haven't you, Ed?
Yeah, I mean, well, for me, I play 5e quite heavily. Also play Fate Core, and we've done a bit of Paranoia recently.
Yeah.
And for setting, this works really nicely, I think. And because obviously pre-stream we were considering using kind of bastardized Starfinder, and actually I think,
which I was really down for that idea.
Yeah, but I think it would have been too fighty.
Yeah.
This actually is that really nice of like actually blowing stuff up isn't that easy because it's not really it's not really
to my disappointment.
Yeah.
No, it's
unless you want to destroy your own ship at the end of each movie, it's not really.
In
I
fact,
agree.
The recent book they've brought out, which is the Klingon core book, which is similar to you still got the big book, the big tome there. They've obviously that's the main. That's the collector's one too, isn't it? With the close up on the D.
Is it?
What?
I think of it, yeah.
Yay! It's not that kind of stream.
Close Up on the D is exactly my new album. That's what it's going to be called. Close Up on the D.
But they've brought out another core book, which is the Klingon core book, and the idea is that you just build a party and a ship of Klingon warriors. And again, like with this one, you can set it in any of the periods that Trek does. And to be fair, that is probably one that could be done as a more fighty. Well, it's Klingons, isn't it? So you can make it a more fighty sort of adventure. So if people knew Trek and were really into dungeon crawling and bashing the gubbins out of all the poor denizens in there and nicking their stuff, that would probably be a good fit for them. But if you're generally really into Trek and you thought, if you're really into Trek and you really wanted to be a Federation crew, this is just that this is the first book that came out was obviously the Federation book, and the Klingon one was basically a few tweaks to it, and came out I think a bit after. Well, I only found it after we started the game anyway. Else we might have all been ridged.
Go on.
I was going to say, for a serious answer to the question, how does it compare to other RPGs? I've played Pathfinder for not super long time, since I started listening to Danger Club, yeah. But I played 5e and 4e before that, and 3.5 and all that stuff way before that, and I very much like D&D. This was a little new. The dice system was a little bit new. I played other dice systems like Fate and things like that. I played with like the Honey Heist dice system that Amy and I had played together with Chris, and that just makes me laugh. But yeah, I mean, this one, the idea of lower numbers being better and the way the system on the board is set up and your character sheets and stuff like that. I know it's just like reversing, like instead of higher numbers are better, it's lower numbers are better, but something about that and swapping the view and kind of how everything works based off of the system where you have your security score plus your engineering score, and that kind of like makes your whatever you have to roll under. Like I very much like that idea. Never played anything like it, and from an RPG perspective, like it doesn't feel like D&D. It doesn't feel like a clone of D&D. It feels like something completely different. and therefore I don't judge them based off of that. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I play D&D, but I also occasionally play this Star Trek Adventures game. It's just two delineated, completely different games, and it feels cool enough to be its own game. Like I carve out time in my week every other Wednesday to play this game because it's rad. Just the game alone. I mean, the people obviously I want to hang out with, but the game alone itself is rad. I'll just say that.
What about you, Amy?
Except for Matt, he blows.
Very well.
Noted. I will call you for my bachelor party.
Yeah, I mean, I've played, so I've mainly played D&D and Pathfinder before, so I'm sort of in the same boat as Usher, really, that the system is very different, so it's taken a little while to just get the grips of it, and I don't think I'm there quite with understanding how it all works and how I can abuse the rules to work in my favour, which, as you all know, is what I love to do. So, yeah, but I really like it. As I think, as Ed was saying, it really lends itself to this kind of thing, I think. And it's just going to get better as we learn it more.
You say you play Pathfinder. Can you speak more on that?
No,
Yeah.
she cannot, because we're not going to link other podcasts here, sir.
Oh, we
Keep that
totally
out.
can link other awesome podcasts that we mentioned
Yeah.
earlier.
But do you mean the Tales from the 20 side, which I already put in the chat earlier?
Is it
Yeah.
Tales of the
Thank
20
you
side
very
that I subscribe to on Spotify and on your
Produced by-
website?
Produced by
Wherever you get
Eagle
your
Films, I think you'll find.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I
Love
think
the
if
stuff they do.
anyone looks for Tales from the 20 side on any of their respective things, they might find something good.
You mean Tales from the
I've
20
heard that shit.
side.podbean.com?
No, I think you're actually right. And on that website, you can find all of their, like the entire history of their podcasts, and they're quite wonderful.
But you wouldn't also find Aliens Explored there as well, would you?
You might actually find Aliens Explored, but you would also find Tales from the 20 side, which is a wonderful podcast. And Aliens Explored is another wonderful podcast with interesting people that know smart things and talk about smart things in an interesting manner. If anyone, was just hanging out and looking on the webpage, just like on Google, and just wanted to do Tales from the 20 side, it's wonderful.
Podbean.com.
That would be wonderful. I'm just saying. Aliens Explained is wonderful.
It's the sort of thing that you'd expect there to be, 70 episodes released?
Yeah, I feel like there should definitely be a back history of it, and it should also be like really well done with really important people, like Amy and other people. And I'm done.
Love it.
I'm done.
Keep going. No.
I can't do it.
No, Chris, he's definitely not on commission. Definitely not.
I would love to, but
So thanks for the mention. Coming back to the whole how this compares then with other RPGs. I won't mention Tales from the 20 but I will.
Podbean.com.
Actually, talesfrom20side.com does it. There you go. Save yourself
me,
a
which is why I
Podbean.
was.
Yeah. So.
God,
mechanically, I think this is just to kind of answer it properly. Then, mechanically, it's really the whole 2D20 system is a really interesting mechanic to get your head. I think once you do get your head round it, it works, and it's great. And it's Modiphius who produce it. They also do a number of other franchises like Conan, for example, and Fallout Boy.
And Dune.
And I'm quite intrigued because I know they're based on the 2D20 system as well, so I'm quite intrigued if you could take a starship to a planet that's basically Conan world.
Ooh.
And have a crossover sort of episode. That might be quite interesting. Yeah, because Dune is another one they do. So is there room to sort of cross over? It's something I'd like to have a look into. The only downside I found with GMing this versus GMing, because I GM Pathfinder as well, is GMing this. I find it's a little bit, the way the adventure path is written is almost a little bit, I want to say railroady. It's written, right, they'll turn up at a planet and then they need to do this one thing in order to move the story on. It's like, whereas as you probably know, it's like, right, well, this thing's just happened. Sort it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I do find it's a little bit, but I mean, there's ways and means of dealing with that that you can get around. Ben knows what I mean. Ben's run Star Trek Adventures as a GM lots and lots of times and been very, very helpful to me on Facebook. Thank you, Ben. So yeah, it's, I don't know. There's ways and means, but that's the only, and it might just be this one adventure. I don't know.
I'm still waiting for us to roll something, and then you tell us it wasn't good enough for the armor class, and then it just like slowly delineates into Pathfinder or like D&D, and we just
and merge you into Tales from the 20 side.
I mean, oh my God, Stu, please, can we do that? Like what? How much does that cost?
You do. Believe me, you do not want that group of adventurers anywhere near.
I don't want my group of Crystal Strat adventurers, but we still are doing grind.
Oh dear.
A lot of the adventures within Star Trek, there's simply so much pre-written stuff out there.
Yeah.
It's such, like with Star Trek itself, it's written by such a broad spectrum of people, and a lot of the stuff that's like official stuff on the websites is fan made, because when they were building it, they'll like just send in your ideas, your stories, and they'll publish the stuff that they like. So yeah, some of them will be a little bit more, I've got this idea for a story, it's just like an episode of Trek, and they've written out a script for a Trek episode with a few.
Is that what they did?
To move it along. Yeah, when they brought out the game initially, it was like free play tested, and I was
interesting.
I was reading it online as it came out at the time. I wasn't really playing it more than just following it. So that's why I was delighted when there was a group of people who was able to play it more regularly. So I actually finally get to have a go at it. But a lot of it is a live. It was a live living campaign, and people were sending in things like they didn't think this worked. This mechanic worked well or whatever, and that's when it was only after the living campaign finished, the first one finished, that they actually published the book of the actual rules, and then they published modules of stories, not only in book form but free on the website. You just sign up and they'll email you, this week's story.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
crazy.
The resources that are out there is absolutely incredible. In fact, Ben mentioned something, I think it was Ben mentioned earlier, about the character creation, how he loves the character creation, but wishes there was a really easy, quick way of doing it. Well, we've got a link, haven't we, that you found, Ed? Isn't that right?
Yeah, Modifius have actually got a web page, which is a character builder, and it's got... all you can click, and we'll put the link in somewhere. Oh, and on Discord as well.
Yeah. Remind us on Discord, Ben. Remind us on Discord. We'll link it to you, because it is like literally, you sat at a computer, you can create a character within.
Yeah, it like 5 minutes. I will say this about the character editor: none of us knew what we were doing when we made these characters, right? And the character editor that they are going to link doesn't actually give you any input onto what it means in the game. So, and none of us had really read the rules. I mean, Ed probably did because, he's Ed, and, that's just...
Thank you, man.
I mean, he's fucking Ed. That's what he does. But regardless, most of us didn't read the rules and how things work. So when we made a character, we were just kind of like, oh, what does control mean? Doesn't matter. Sounds cool. We'll do it. And we just put points into it. So when you do put points into it, I think it's important to think about if you're into like min-maxing on like a D&D standpoint or something like that, or you want to build a character that's really strong in one thing or another, listen to the game, go back and listen to the other, episodes when there's conflict going on and hear what the roles are, because none of us really actually knew anything about that when we made these characters. So when roles come up, we're like, oh, that would have been important to think about before we did things, but also my control is like a 1, and that fucking blows because I didn't think about that. So it's just kind of like thinking about that stuff in the future. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it is quite easy to sort of build a min-max character like that if you want, but at the same time, I think the game system kind of encourages you to like take a thematic focus. So you're a doctor, a scientist, and it will automatically boost those stats. And then your specific race within the game gives you some specific stat boosts as well. But yeah, you can then, as you build the character through their time at the academy and their career, before you actually get into the game and they come out the other end, you can tweak where you think you need them. But at the same time, it kind of encourages you to just keep everything fairly well balanced, because like I say, you never know when a security guard will need to do a medical task or an engineering task, which is why we've all got, you've all got con as a optional skill, because you might just need to pilot a shuttle at some point, or a car, or a land vehicle, or something. It's just that some people are better at it with your focuses than others. I think it's the focuses that really count. That's where you start making those exploding dice. So anything that's now under a 3, a 3, 2, or a 1.
The focus is also a good point. There aren't a list of focuses in the game. You have to create your own. So for focuses,
you just make them up.
Yeah, you just make them up. So if you really want to drill down on a specific thing, you could say, my focus is being on my hands and knees underneath like a kitchen cabinet while I'm fixing a plumbing circuit on whatever, and just say I'm really good with the goddamn wrench. Like that, it can be super specific, but there's no rule that tells you it can't be that. So I would say keep your focuses broad.
Yep.
Understand what you kind of want your character to do, what you want them to specialize in, and keep the focuses relatively broad. So if you're an engineer, keep a focus in like maybe like starship structure or something along those lines. Don't make it very specific, because it's almost no times that are ever going to come out in this game where you have that very specific interest being used.
I will say there is another side to that, because if it is too vague, and I'm sorry, Amy, I'm going to use you as an example now.
Astrophysics.
No, I mean astrophysics. There are times when astrophysics will definitely work as a focus, because in my head I've kind of like I know what I mean. If for example you're exploring spatial anomalies or wormholes or
God, I wish you could have been
that kind
subspace disruption. That would have been fucking rad earlier.
But astrophysics as a generic thing it's a big wide topic. So a focus would be a specialization within astrophysics, I think.
Well, astrophysics was one of their suggested focuses for
was
a science.
Okay.
But
interesting.
Also, I am the sort of player that will query things like that, just in case. So my argument was that I was scanning a planet, so there might be some sort of weird gravitational wave stuff that's going on that my astrophysics might be able to pick up. But that is okay.
If it's there, you'll find it.
Mm.
I mean, I've learned that when Stu doesn't have an answer for something, he's just going to say subspace disruption or whatever the hell it's called. and that's his answer to the I don't have a better answer
subspace
right now.
Disruption.
Yeah, or whatever you call it.
Big orange swirly thing in space.
It's the reason we can't talk to each other.
How much of that has happened in this game? And I can tell you, like the things like the diamagnetic ore and the subspace disruption is as written. I didn't.
I know that.
But it's interesting that that's been their get around of because basically with transporters and long range communications, you can do a lot of things by magic, basically.
But you would think, in the 24th 24th or 25th century, you would have figured out subspace disruption. If you're sending people to warp and you're going to other planets and other galaxies, you're not even in the Milky Way anymore. You're just going to other galaxies and doing all this crazy shit. You would think that you would have figured out the subspace disruption nonsense by the time that you get to that. And that's like a hot take from me, but it's also more of like, come on with something up. Like figure out something else. Because that's bullshit.
We haven't left the galaxy in Star Trek. We can't get through the barrier.
Wait, I don't know this nonsense. I just assumed in the 24th century, y'all would have left the galaxy. Y'all still haven't left the galaxy? Why are they even playing
can't
this
get
game?
Through the barrier.
What kind of nonsense are y'all talking about here?
And there's so many galaxies still to explore.
The barrier? What is the barrier?
The barrier, the Great Barrier.
What Great Barrier?
That surrounds the galaxy.
Time.
Wait, there's an actual barrier that surrounds the galaxy?
Yeah, in Star Trek, yes.
Who made it?
Now, if you go into beta... So Alpha Canon doesn't have an answer to that, but if you go into Beta Canon, and specifically
I need Binker, I need Quinn, I need everybody in chat. Tell me how he's wrong. It was
created by Q in order to trap Zero, who was the
other Q guy, right?
Was at war with Q.
But he was another Q dude, wasn't he? Zero?
No. Zero. Zero was Zero. Q was Q.
Oh my god. We'll put a link to the episodes down in the description.
It's
because
not episodes,
holy shit.
It's Beta Canon, so it's
a memory alpha or memorybeta.com.
It's memory beta. And also it's beta, not beta, you stupid English people.
Greeks will have you saying actually beta.
I'm so sorry. It's been a long day.
Beta.
Well, of course you say beta because you're
there's no Y
British.
What? I mean, that's why you have beta bread to dip into humus.
Beta bread and humus are not words that ever get spoken. It's hummus and beta bread isn't a thing.
It's hummus.
So just it's hummus.
Hummus.
I say hummus.
Hummus.
Yeah.
Hummus.
Because HUM is hum.
Hummus.
You don't say hume. We were huming this song.
Do you not spell it with an O? I would spell it with an O, but I'm dyslexic.
HUMMUS. It's hummus.
Bosh, if I said to you, Yasso, Kalispera and Daxi, Kalakristiana.
I would. I needed probably a thesaurus and like an Italian dictionary. What the fuck did you say?
I said some words in Greek.
Mussolini.
Well, we don't. Again, I hate to be that guy, but it's just we don't know.
Yes, that nice olive dip and 4 mythos, please.
I'm not saying we're right here, Stu. I'm saying that unfortunately we are absolutely probably wrong, but we definitely are stuck in an educational system that does not acknowledge any other languages on the planet other than American English. So unfortunately, we're stuck in the view where you say something like that, and we're like, "Get the fuck out of the country." That's what we're left with, and so like,
but I'm not in your country.
Oh, thank God! Thank God! I've seen what you eat.
I am in April. I'm coming over.
Wait, where are you going in April?
Chicago. Mission Chicago.
You know what? I will probably meet you if you're there in April. My brother's child will just be a year old. Yeah, I could probably meet you in Chicago, and we can hang out.
Excellent.
And we can hang out and make fun of Ed in person.
3 days of Star Trek convention. It's the 8th to the 10th.
Wait, you misunderstand. I'm not actually going to a Star Trek convention. I'm going to have a beer with you, but I'm sure as fuck not setting foot with all these heathens that are on this Discord and all this nonsense. Disgusting people.
You wait.
I'm not actually going to hang out with you people.
And Twisting Curse has made a good point that not all Americans are like that, and that's absolutely true. I think we're parodying, aren't we?
Yeah.
No, it's and I don't. Oh my God, what a weird. Like, I don't hate America, but in reality, like, yeah, we could do a lot fucking better than we have been. Let's just say the last forever. But anyways, yeah,
we all could. I mean, Britain's hardly the paragon of virtue at the moment, is it? You know,
I should go to Gen Con. I don't know what Gen Con is.
Huge, big.
What is Gen Con?
Gen Con, it's like board games, RPGs. It's a very big. It's the probably two biggest ones are probably Gen Con and Essenspiel, probably.
Where is Gen Con?
Dragon Con?
Yes, probably. But I think Gen Con's it's such a broad mix. I mean, there's all sorts of, because I think they do like X-wing miniatures.
I mean,
world championships and stuff there as well. Also.
I think his name's Mike's free. I'm just assuming.
Gen Con is the largest tabletop game convention in North America by both attendance and number of events.
Whatever.
There we go.
It's in Indianapolis.
No. It's. I mean, that's crazy that it's in Indianapolis. I will say, if it has con after it, I will probably never go. Like, I'll go to see Stu and to hang out and whatnot, but I'm really. I like the idea of that sort of thing. I've never actually exposed myself to like a con or an event like that, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't enjoy it. It's just I haven't done it yet, and unless there's a reason for me to be there, like a monetary reason for me to be there, I don't know. It seems like a giant headache, and it seems like a bunch of people that are clearly better about being out with their nerdness than I am. And meanwhile, I say this on the internet that's going out to all kinds of people, and you put this on YouTube and all. I don't know why I joined this. This is a terrible idea for me.
In answer to Ben's Discord, yes, that's the link you got there, Ben. Well spotted. That's the correct one for the character creator.
Well spotted. Yeah, but you want to come over to Honeyfest at the end of August.
Yeah, there you go.
3 of us are going to be there.
Yeah, can we convince you, Ed? Maybe.
Now you're back to work. You can take holiday now.
At the moment, so I find out on Thursdays what I'm doing for the next 7 days. And it changes every week, so I've no idea. I wouldn't know if I was even on a day off for that until the Thursday of the week before.
He also has like airplanes that keep the air. He can't go like hang out at Honeyfest with you heathens. He has to keep shit in the sky.
So getting it off the ground is my getting it off the gate is my thing. Eventually we will expand to a 2-week, a 4-week, or at least hopefully a pattern as things improve, and then I'll be able to predict ahead and get leave in, because leave is obviously a bit of a problem at the moment.
Yeah.
Look, the passengers, they'll wait. They've got a nice terminal to sit in.
It never
Wait a
goes.
second.
Never
I
goes.
was just a passenger. I would not wait. There's no way. If someone told me that I could not get on my airplane because Ed was at a festival, I'd get arrested. I would get arrested based off of what I would do.
America's got no patience.
We need to get Usher on a Ryanair. That'll be hilarious.
Yeah. The hell is a Ryanair? What is that? And I feel like I'm missing a
cheap
joke.
airline.
I couldn't possibly spoil the surprise for you.
Do you remember Dan Air? Or Dan Dare, as I used to call
my house
them.
when I was a kid. In fact, when I first started, there were some old load sheets sitting in the office that still had them on, even though the airline had been out of business for 8 years. We still had some paperwork.
We should just do this as we have the Wednesdays where we play our games. Every other Wednesdays, we should just talk about bullshit.
It's the behind.
Because I'm totally down with that. Just every Wednesday is like a night that we hang out. If people can't make it, they can't make it. But every other Wednesday be like the game, and then the other Wednesday we just chat about bullshit and engage with people on Twitch, because I'm loving this.
We'd be chatting about bullshit every week, because we do already. We've been asked quite a lot in chat what Honeyfest is. So Matt and Amy.
There you go. Matt and Amy, go for it.
Yeah, it's
tell us what Honeyfest is.
Music and craft festival at the Barge Inn.
Going camping.
Yeah.
It's totally going to rain.
Drinking in a tent. I mean, camping.
Yeah.
Drinking with intent.
Yep.
It's going to be intense.
And and me and Amy, we were talking yesterday about a game that we're gonna play with everyone. Not everyone, because there's 300 tickets, but with our little group that's going. Go on.
Oh, honey heist. First heist.
Honey
Sorry,
Fest!
my laptop my laptop was like, I'm not charging. What's going on? I was panicking.
Oh yeah,
So.
Honey Heist. Yeah, we figured that'd be a brilliant game to play. So I have to take loads and loads of D6s with us, because I bet people won't be bringing them.
I've got a really good dice box that's got like magnets. Nothing can have that.
And I'm gonna see if I can find a crop circle nearby to go and explore while I'm there, and should be fun. I haven't been to the Barge Inn in 3 years, I think now. I used to go there all the time when I lived there, because I lived not far from there in Swindon. Before I moved to London and sold my soul.
There's new Devour map spoilers.
Oh yeah, yes.
Devour map spoilers.
For Friday.
Oh no!
Coming out.
Devour map spoilers.
Oh.
No, Jaunty, tell us more.
Is it the Inn? I think I saw something.
You could Devour's upcoming map, the Inn.
That's really fun.
I
We'll
don't
do that
really
on
know what any of
Friday.
those words mean, but
Yeah.
And a whole new demon to
Devour goes to
exercise,
Japan.
and a whole new way to get.
Oh no, not with spiders.
Spiders!
Oh,
It's like the worst. No.
Are they big spiders
what is-
that pop when you squeeze them?
What pop with you squeezing? Why would anyone say that about spider? I just joined in. I saw Jaunty, and I was like, why would anyone say spiders?
I have a funny feeling it'll be the players that go pop when the spiders squeeze them, or whatever.
God, Jaunty,
I'm going to struggle with that for sure.
Jaunty can go back to wherever Jaunty is from. I think he's UK, but yeah, just go back there. Also, I will say this about Honeyfest or Honeyfest. We talked about Honeyfest. If you go to Honeyfest, there's going to be like a 6'5", like basically white-haired person with fox ears on, and you need to go and ask him specifically why he has not switched to the Spotify collaborative playlist. And I just want everyone that goes to the Honeyfest to ask him that question.
Don't you worry, we'll get it sorted.
And ask him why he hasn't read my fucking script yet.
Well, there's also that.
I will ask him when I see him on Friday.
Yeah, no, those are really important questions. One, Stu's script. Also, two, collaborative goddamn playlist, because it fixes every problem he actually has. And I'm just like, I solved that problem like 3 weeks ago, and I'm just trying to like let him know.
Some feedback on it, really.
But
Well, it's not even that.
speaking of seeing him on Friday, I have to travel up to the wilds of Brum tomorrow, so I'm going to have to love you and leave you relatively.
Where are the
shortly.
wilds of Brum? Is it 1,000 miles away through the woods, or are you just going like
Pretty
on the
much.
freeway?
If it's north
2
of
hours up
Enfield,
the road.
it's north of Enfield. I haven't got a clue. It's northern somewhere.
It's so far down south.
It's not northern. It's not northern. Well, I will die on that.
I love British people bitching about British places. It's one of my favorite things. I could watch an entire video on this.
If I have to leave the M25, there's something very wrong with the world.
Where do you live?
Nothing wrong with the north. I like.
Where do you live, Matt?
Yeah.
Like compared to, I'm just gonna say the one city I know. So compared to London, where are you?
There.
You're in London?
I'm in London.
Why would you ever leave? Don't go anywhere else.
I know.
Like, you're an architect. You
Fucking
can just take a
awful in
call.
London.
They can email you. You can just send pictures.
Because we haven't progressed beyond thatched roofs up here, and we need people like him to come and show us how to build concrete.
Yeah.
East Mordor. That's what I'm talking about. Mike's Free's got it right. Like, what are you talking about? Why would you ever leave London? It's beautiful.
London is fucking awful. It's steel and concrete and glass
live in
and
London.
no nature. There's no. You can't fucking bring. Right, literally. Right, I moved there.
There is
I
nature.
left my window open one night. There's black lumps literally on my windowsill because
There
the
is
carbon
actually-
content is so high in the air there. It is disgusting.
That is
You
so
can't
outrageous.
breathe there.
That's not true. It's
Oh
not
my
true.
god, I
Not
fucking
anymore.
hate
It
London.
was.
It's like they've got like illegal pollution
That is-
levels in areas.
but that being said, Kew Gardens is in London, which is
Yeah, that's
guaranteed the largest actual botanical garden on the planet. And it's where I, like, my dream job would be to work for them for some reason. They'll never take me because of all the reasons that you have known me for, and also I'm an American, so I just be like, yeah, fuck yeah, and then be like, no, you can't work here. You're a sailor mouth. But also, like, yeah, I mean, that's the largest botanical. What are you talking about? There's no nature. There's nature everywhere in London. It's just not like.
Yeah, but then you go
No.
outside of
Mate.
London and there's just a lot more. And
Mate, I'm taking you to Wiltshire. It will blow your fucking
I mean,
mind.
I lived
It
in New
really
York
will.
City for 6 years. Like I know how gross shit can be. I'm also saying it's probably also rad. Like you have cool people there. You have interesting people that are gonna change the world. And while it may not be the prettiest thing on the planet, it is actually probably one of the best melting pots on the planet. And they deal with crazy nonsense and people that have outrageous ideas, similar to how New York City is. But I would imagine there are some of the most interesting minds on the planet that live there. And so I'm not saying that it objectively isn't a gross place, because it probably is. If it's anything like New York City, when it rains, you see all the trash flow down into the nonsense. You're like, why do I live here? Because this is fucking disgusting. But at the same time, when you meet people, you're just like, holy fuck, what a cool place. What a cool place to be. And I feel like that's probably true for it.
Well, the people of London are absolutely amazing and brilliant and wonderful, but the place, no.
Agreed.
No.
Agreed.
There's a lot of tribalism going on in the chat at the moment. Got to say, with Paul, he's a man who sees all, hears all, and says nought.
What is this? Cornwall is anywhere. England is probably Newcastle. What are you talking about?
I used to live in Cornwall.
Places. Yorkshire.
I used to live down in Cornwall. It was lovely.
Oh, we should take you to Pratt's Bottom.
Yeah.
A tour for the UK.
Leave Ed out of this.
All the rude names at all.
I mean,
Newcastle, I used to live. I grew up in Newcastle. Near Newcastle.
Is because when I fly to London, I need people to drive me around, and apparently Captain Quinn, Banker, Tea Party, I have rides everywhere because they're apparently going to show me everything. So I don't even have to worry about it.
Anyway, on that note, I know that Matt has to get up really early tomorrow, so and it's like we've gone actually over half an hour. Can we not just
lose Matt?
He's run a bit late.
No, I want to go as well.
Okay. I want to leave.
I'm tired. I'm getting old.
Good night, guys. This is wonderful.
This has been lovely.
I am. I'm the oldest one here. But before we do, speaking of getting old, now is probably a really good time to wish our very own Ed a very happy birthday for Saturday.
Wait.
Yeah.
What? Saturday?
Birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
I thought you were going to get away with it.
Thank you.
51.
Yes. Level 43 will be achieved.
No, I mean by level 43, you mean level 78, right? Like what are we talking about here?
I have a very, very strict moisturizing regime.
And it's amazing. The tire tracks come standard.
Yeah. Actually, I just cover them up normally. I just take everything off to do this stream.
I love all of you. Thank you for putting up with me when I'm drunk, and also like a crazy family emergency, not emergency, but also whatever. Anyways,
It gave us an
fun,
opportunity
guys.
for a little
Shit
bit of
happens, but
different
this has
stream. I
been
think we're
fun. So until next time, everyone, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
cheers.